Did you know that one vitamin in your daily routine could quietly raise your risk of stroke overnight? You might take it with breakfast, swallow it before bed, believing it's strengthening your brain and protecting your future. But in reality, that same vitamin could be silently setting the stage for disaster without pain, without warning, and without a single early sign. For decades, seniors in America have been told that vitamins are always safe. Doctors recommended them, commercials praised them, and shelves in every pharmacy promoted them as the secret to staying young and strong. But here's the shocking truth. After 60, your body changes. The liver and kidneys don't filter as efficiently. Blood vessels become more fragile. And when certain vitamins are taken in excess or combined with prescription medications, they can quietly backfire, raising your blood pressure, thickening your blood, or even causing bleeding inside your brain. As a brain doctor, I've seen this more times than I can count. Men and women in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, and 80 seconds who believed they were protecting themselves with vitamins went to bed feeling fine. By morning, they woke up slurring their speech, unable to move one side of their body, or struggling to remember their own family's names. It wasn't just age or genetics, it was the hidden effect of a vitamin they trusted. That's why in this video, I'm going to reveal the 6 vitamins seniors must think twice about if they want to protect their brain. And the number 1 on this list may shock you most. It's found in nearly every multivitamin bottle, yet it could be raising your stroke risk overnight. If you find this message valuable, type 1 in the comments or 0 if you think I can improve. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for older adults in America. 6. Vitamin D. For many older Americans, vitamin D feels like the safest choice you can make. Doctors talk about it for bone strength, pharmacies sell it in bright bottles, and family members remind each other to take it for immunity. A capsule in the morning or a few drops in milk at night seems harmless, even essential. But as a brain doctor, I must tell you the truth I've seen too many times. Vitamin D, when taken in excess, doesn't just strengthen bones. It can silently raise your stroke risk overnight. Here's the medical truth. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means your body doesn't flush it out easily. Unlike vitamin C or B, which pass out in urine, vitamin D builds up in your liver and bloodstream. After 60, when your kidneys and liver already work more slowly, that buildup becomes dangerous. The mechanism is simple but cruel. Too much vitamin D raises calcium levels in your blood. Instead of going into bones where it belongs, calcium begins to deposit in your arteries. Over time, those arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, and blood flow slows. Sticky, heavy blood moves through narrowed vessels, and in the quiet of the night it forms clots. When those clots travel to the brain, the result is sudden, devastating stroke. I'll never forget Mr. Thomas, a 70-year-old retiree from Michigan. He started taking 5,000 IU of vitamin D every day after hearing it could help his joints. He felt fine for months. But one morning, his wife found him on the bathroom floor, unable to lift his right arm. At the hospital, scans revealed a clot in his brain and calcium deposits in his arteries. Looking at me later, he whispered, "Doctor, I thought I was protecting myself. I never knew it could hurt me." That's the hidden danger. It doesn't feel like chest pain. It doesn't warn you with dizziness. It's the quiet betrayal of blood that hardens and clots while you sleep, leaving you weaker by morning. So before you swallow that extra capsule of vitamin D, ask yourself, is more really better, or could it be putting your brain at risk? Because what feels protective can quietly steal your independence. And if you think vitamin D is risky, wait until you hear about vitamin E. Marketed as an antioxidant and beauty booster, it can quietly make your blood too thin, and that can be just as deadly. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's move on to point number 5. 5. Vitamin E. For many older Americans, Vitamin E has long been celebrated as the antioxidant vitamin. You see it on beauty creams, in multivitamin blends, and in supplements promising younger skin, sharper memory, and a stronger heart. A soft gel before bed feels harmless, like a little shield against aging. But as a brain doctor, I must tell you the truth I've seen in too many patients. Vitamin E, when taken in high doses, doesn't just fail to protect you. It can quietly raise your risk of a bleeding stroke overnight. Here's the medical truth. Vitamin E is also fat-soluble, which means it lingers in your body. And at doses above 400 IU per day, research shows it begins to thin the blood too much. Normally, a small amount of thinning helps prevent clots. But in seniors, where blood vessels are already fragile and medications like aspirin or warfarin are common, that extra thinning becomes dangerous. The mechanism is unforgiving. When vitamin E levels get too high, clotting factors are suppressed. Blood that should seal tiny vessel tears instead keeps flowing. In the quiet of the night, a weak artery in the brain can rupture. The result isn't a blockage stroke, but a hemorrhagic one bleeding inside the brain that can steal your speech, your balance, or even your life without warning. I'll never forget Mrs. Susan, a 6-8-year-old grandmother from North Carolina. She had taken 600 IU of vitamin E every day for her skin, convinced it was harmless. One morning, her daughter found her at the breakfast table, words slurred, unable to lift her left arm. Scans revealed bleeding in her brain. In tears, she told me later, "Doctor, I thought vitamin E was helping me look younger. I didn't know it was making me weaker." That's the hidden danger. No chest pain, no early signal. Just the sudden, devastating reality of a brain vessel bursting in the night. What feels like a beauty or wellness secret can quietly become the trigger for disability. So before you take that extra capsule of vitamin E, stop and think. Is it worth the risk of bleeding that could steal your independence forever? Because what seems harmless could quietly undo everything you've worked to protect. And if you think vitamin E is dangerous, wait until you hear about vitamin A. Marketed for vision and skin, but in excess it can build up in the liver, raise pressure inside the skull, and quietly set the stage for stroke. Now, let's move on to point number 4. 4. Vitamin A. For many older Americans, vitamin A feels like a safe friend. Doctors once praised it for protecting vision, supporting the immune system, and keeping skin healthy. Cod liver oil, fortified milk, and colorful supplements made it sound like something you could never have too much of. A spoonful in the evening, a daily capsule, it feels harmless, even protective. But as a brain doctor, I must tell you what I've seen too many times. Vitamin A, when it builds up in the body, doesn't just fail to protect you. It can quietly raise pressure inside the skull and set the stage for stroke. Here's the medical truth. Vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it in the liver instead of flushing it out quickly. Over time, especially in seniors whose livers work more slowly, excess vitamin A begins to accumulate. The result is a condition called intracranial hypertension, too much pressure inside the head. The mechanism is both simple and dangerous. As vitamin A builds up, fluid pressure rises in the brain. Arteries that should deliver steady oxygen to brain tissue are squeezed, weakened, and stressed. Add fragile vessels from aging, and the perfect conditions for a clot or a rupture form silently. One moment you're fine. The next, you wake up dizzy, nauseous, or unable to move half your body. I'll never forget Mrs. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian from Boston. She took cod liver oil every night for healthy eyes and never thought twice about it. But over time, she developed headaches and blurred vision, which she dismissed as age. Then one morning, she collapsed at her kitchen table. Scans revealed dangerously high intracranial pressure and a small stroke. Shaking her head later, she told me, "Doctor, I thought I was protecting my sight. I never knew I was risking my brain." That's the cruel reality. Vitamin A doesn't warn you with mild symptoms you can trust. Its damage builds quietly in the background until a vessel bursts or a clot lodges where it shouldn't. What felt like protection becomes the very trigger for weakness, memory loss, or dependence. So before you reach for that extra spoonful of cod liver oil or high-dose vitamin A supplement, ask yourself, is more really better? Or is it quietly writing the script for a stroke you'll never see coming? And if you think vitamin A is risky, wait until you hear about vitamin K. Known for blood clotting, it can become a silent saboteur when combined with common medications seniors rely on. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below. To let me know you're here, let's move on to point number 3. 3. Vitamin K. For many older Americans, vitamin K sounds like nothing but good news. It's praised for helping bones stay strong and for supporting healthy blood clotting. Leafy greens, supplements, and fortified capsules all make it feel like a safe, natural addition to your daily routine. A small pill before bed or a salad loaded with spinach seems harmless, even wise. But as a brain doctor, I must warn you of the truth I've seen in countless patients. Vitamin K isn't always safe, especially when taken with prescription blood thinners. Instead of protecting your health, it can quietly tip the balance and set the stage for stroke. Here's the medical truth. Vitamin K plays a central role in clotting. That's why it's so important when you're young and healing from injury. But many seniors take anticoagulant drugs like warfarin to prevent clots from forming. These medicines work by limiting vitamin K's effect. When you add high doses of vitamin K back into your system, it fights the medicine. The balance is destroyed, and clots can begin forming again. The mechanism is clear. Warfarin thins the blood to prevent dangerous clots. Too much vitamin K, whether from supplements or even large amounts of leafy greens, reverses that effect. Instead of smooth, steady circulation, blood starts to thicken. Clots form silently in the night, and when they travel to the brain, the result can be devastating. I'll never forget Mr. Richard, a 75-year-old retired farmer from Indiana. He was taking warfarin for atrial fibrillation, but he also started a vitamin K2 supplement because he heard it was good for bones. For weeks, he felt fine. Then one morning, his wife found him slumped in his chair, unable to move his left side. At the hospital, scans revealed a clot in his brain. His medication had been overpowered by the extra vitamin K. Looking at me later, he whispered, "Doctor, I thought I was helping myself. I didn't know I was undoing my medicine." That's the hidden danger. It doesn't show up as pain or dizziness. It happens quietly, when one vitamin collides with one medication, and the brain pays the price. What seems like an innocent supplement can erase the very protection your doctor prescribed. So, before you add that vitamin K pill to your routine, ask yourself, is it worth the risk of undoing your treatment and facing a stroke? Because what feels safe could quietly steal your independence overnight. And if you think vitamin K is dangerous, wait until you hear about vitamin B6, marketed for energy and nerve health. It can quietly damage the very system it claims to protect. Now, let's move on to point number 2. 2. Vitamin B6. For many older Americans, vitamin B6 feels like a gentle helper. It's marketed for nerve health, better sleep, and more energy. A capsule before bed, a fortified drink mix in the evening. It feels harmless, even supportive of your brain. But as a brain doctor, I must warn you of the truth I've seen too often. Vitamin B6, when taken in high doses, doesn't just fail to protect your nerves. It can quietly damage them, creating weakness, imbalance, and even raising your stroke risk overnight. Here's the medical truth. Vitamin B6 is water-soluble, which means your body usually clears out what it doesn't need. But when seniors take high-dose supplements, 200 milligrams or more daily, the vitamin begins to accumulate in nerve tissue. Instead of nourishing the nervous system, it poisons it. The mechanism is cruel. Excess B6 damages the myelin sheath, the protective coating around nerves. Without that coating, nerves misfire, muscles no longer respond smoothly, reflexes weaken, and blood pressure regulation falters. Combine that with aging vessels and slower circulation, and the stage is set for dizziness, falls, and clots that can lodge in the brain. I'll never forget Mrs. Helen, a 9-year-old retired nurse from Ohio. She began taking high-dose B6 to support her nerves after reading about it online. At first, she felt a boost of energy. But within months, her legs grew weak and numb. One night, she collapsed on her way to the bathroom. At the hospital, scans revealed not only nerve damage but also a small clot in her brain. Shaking her head later, she told me, "Doctor, I thought I was protecting my nerves. I didn't know I was destroying them." That is the hidden danger. It's not a sharp chest pain or a sudden dizzy spell. It's the slow, silent breakdown of the very nerves that keep you balanced and strong, leaving you vulnerable to falls, weakness, and strokes you never saw coming. So before you reach for another high-dose B6 supplement, stop and ask yourself, is this pill truly helping me, or could it be betraying my body one nerve at a time? Because what seems like a safe boost for energy can quietly rewrite the rest of your life. And if you think vitamin B6 is surprising, wait until you hear about number 1, the most dangerous of all. A supplement that millions of seniors take every day, believing it's a shield, when in reality it can combine multiple risks into one devastating blow. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's move on to point number 1. 1. Multivitamins. For many older Americans, nothing feels safer than a daily multivitamin. It's marketed as a one-stop solution, a simple capsule that covers every gap in your diet. Pharmacies line their shelves with colorful bottles promising energy, sharper memory, and stronger immunity. Seniors swallow them faithfully each morning or evening, believing it's the best insurance for health. But as a brain doctor, I must warn you, multivitamins are not always harmless. In fact, they can be the most dangerous of all because they combine multiple risks in one pill. Here's the medical truth. Multivitamins often contain fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, each of which can accumulate in your body over time. Add in high doses of B vitamins, plus the medications many seniors already take, and you have a cocktail that's anything but safe. Instead of balancing your health, multivitamins can thicken your blood, thin it too much, or stress your arteries in ways that quietly set the stage for stroke. The mechanism is subtle but deadly. Vitamin D raises calcium, stiffening arteries. Vitamin E thins blood excessively, risking brain bleeds. Vitamin K interferes with blood thinners, triggering clots. Vitamin A increases pressure in the skull, and high-dose B6 can damage nerves. Alone, each is risky. Together, inside one daily pill, they can interact in unpredictable and devastating ways. I'll never forget Mr. James, a 6-year-old retired engineer from Ohio. He took a multivitamin every day for years, along with fish oil and calcium, convinced he was protecting his brain. But one morning, his wife found him unable to speak, his right side paralyzed. At the hospital, scans revealed both calcium deposits in his arteries and a clot in his brain. His blood tests showed dangerously unbalanced vitamin levels. Later, with tears in his eyes, he told me, "Doctor, I thought I was doing everything right. I never imagined the pill I trusted could betray me." That's the cruel truth. Multivitamins don't warn you. They build silently, stacking risks, until one night the balance tips. The stroke that follows isn't random, it's fueled by the very supplement you thought was keeping you safe. So before you take that next multivitamin, ask yourself, is it truly protecting you, or quietly creating the perfect storm inside your body? Because what feels like a shield may actually be the sharpest sword. So now you've seen the truth. 6 vitamins that millions of seniors believe are safe, can quietly raise the risk of stroke after 60. Vitamin D, when taken in excess, stiffens arteries with calcium. Vitamin E, at high doses, thins the blood until fragile vessels burst. Vitamin A, stored in the liver, increases pressure inside the skull. Vitamin K, when mixed with blood thinners, cancels their protection and lets clots form. Vitamin B6, in toxic doses, damages the nerves that regulate blood pressure and balance. And finally, multivitamins, often combining these same vitamins into one daily pill, can silently create the most dangerous cocktail of all. The lesson is clear. After 60, vitamins are no longer harmless extras. Your body changes. Kidneys and liver process nutrients more slowly. Blood vessels are thinner and weaker. Medications interact in ways they never did before. That means context matters more than ever. What once seemed safe at 30 can quietly turn into a trigger for stroke at 70. But here's the hope. Knowledge gives you power. With the right guidance from your doctor, careful dosing, and a clear understanding of what your body truly needs, you can still enjoy the benefits of vitamins without the risks. Sometimes, less is more. And sometimes, a balanced diet provides everything your body needs without a single pill. I've seen patients who made small changes, reducing unnecessary supplements, adjusting doses, and working closely with their physicians, regain their energy, protect their memory, and live stroke-free. That's the future you deserve. Not one stolen by a pill, but one strengthened by wise choices. So let me ask you, which vitamin will you rethink starting today? Comment below and share your answer. I'd love to hear from you. And if this video has helped you, please like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another health tip made just for older adults in America. And one more thing I haven't revealed yet. There is a simple food found in almost every American kitchen that can actually protect your brain better than some supplements. You don't want to miss it. Click on the next video. I'll be waiting for you there.